fuck the Oscars, you know? Fuck the Oscars! Fuck you! I'll tell you! And there's like...
About Hideo Kojima, the creator of Metal Gear Solid, and tonight's industry icon.
We are most powerful when we come together, united by our common love for the art form.
The best debut game.
All right.
So, best debut game is for the best debut game created by a new independent studio.
We're familiar with new independent studios here on Haptic Intel.
We are familiar with new independent studios on Haptic Intel.
So, check out Indie Intel on our channel. Quick plug.
Yeah. Okay, so the games for this category are, Brett, Carry On, Mortal Shell, Raji and Ancient Epic, Roki, and then Phasmaphobia.
That's right.
Okay. So what do you have to say about these? What do you think?
So I've heard of 3 of these games. I've played 3 of these games, and there's 2 that I know absolutely nothing about.
Okay.
So you want me to just go through and just tell you what I think?
Yeah.
Okay. So Carry On, made by Phobia Game Studio, it's published by Devolver.
Yeah.
That game's fucking awesome. Okay. I played a little bit of it. I didn't beat it. I actually should go back to it, but I was playing it on my PC, and I haven't done a lot of PC games.
Exactly?
So what it is it's a game in which you play as like a science experiment that breaks out of the lab, and it just you play as the experiment, and you just go around the lab killing things and absorbing things and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You can actually deposit parts of yourself in like these little pools of water, so you become smaller, so you could fit in other places. It is like a Metroidvania where you just play as this gigantic spaghetti monster, essentially. And you control like the different tentacles that you have with the triggers, and it's really fucking cool. It almost has like spoilers for Inside, the game Inside. It almost has a feeling like the ending of Inside, where you're that giant abomination.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's a whole game of that. So
that's pretty cool. I like it.
It's really, really cool, yeah. And then Mortal Shell, I played a little bit of that as well, a lot less than I played of Carry On. It's basically a Dark Souls clone. But the cool thing about it was you play as like this like weird being, almost like an alien, and you go inside of these dead bodies as like your shell. And when you die, you get kicked out of the shell, and you're like really susceptible to attacks. You get hurt really easily, but it's like a second chance at life. And if you can get back inside your body, you can respawn essentially, but you can only do that once a life. It's really cool, and it's really fun, and it's really fucking hard, as a Dark Souls game would be.
Right. And it looks really fucking good on PC.
Yeah, it did. I told you about it. You downloaded it and you gave it a shot a little bit.
Yeah, I played like the first little area, and then I started getting my shit pushed in, and I was like, all right, I've seen enough here.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, especially if you have like a nice graphics card and your PC's up to date. I don't know if it's on console. It might be on like Xbox or something, but anyway, pretty cool. And then the last game I played that you also played, because we played it together, Josh, is Phasmaphobia.
Yes.
Now, this game is a romp. It's a riot. This game is fun.
It's fun.
We have a Let's Play on our channel if you guys want to check it out. Haptic Plays Phasmaphobia. Josh did a great job editing several hours of content into a nice short video. And it was a lot of shitty video footage we captured, and Josh made it work. We had an idea for the video. I think it turned out really well, so check that out. If you want to know our thoughts on Phasmaphobia, I think all you need to do is play that or watch that video.
Yeah.
So
I agree. That game is a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
It's I think what works so well about it, right? Besides like the horror aspect of it, right? Because it's not necessarily doing anything new in that sense of the not even survival horror, but I guess in a sense that where you have objectives and things to do. The cool part about it is the cooperative component, right, with your friends, and the communication and the comms and how that works, and all the different gadgets and the use of voice and things like that. So it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not often you get a co-op horror game like that.
Right.
Especially one that uses voice chat and voice recognition software so well. For example, when the haunt starts happening, your comms will go down, and you can only use local voice chat, and the walkie-talkies stop working.
Right.
So that can lead to some really fun moments and some really scary moments.
Yeah.
So I agree with you for sure.
Yeah. And then you didn't. That was it, right? You didn't do Roki or Raji.
Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to play either of those two games. Although, looking at
I've
their,
heard great things.
have you about which ones? Both?
Raji, an ancient epic specifically.
Okay.
I heard is very, very good.
I was gonna say Roki. I like the art a lot. It looks really cool. That looks like Fenrir.
Yeah.
It looks like a Norse thing. But
Yeah.
listen, I didn't play them. I don't know anything about them myself, so I can't speak to that. I don't know if you're ready to call it, but I'm ready to call it right now.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. So, what do you think? what would be your personal choice for this category?
So my personal game of choice here for best debut game would be Carry On.
Okay.
Mainly because it's very polished. It's done. It's a complete game. It's violent. It's gory. It's horror, but not really horror. Like you play as the monster, right?
Yeah.
But I love the art style. I love everything about it. That in this category would be my choice. I would say Phasmaphobia, but that game's still in alpha and it's buggy and we've had a lot of issues with it.
Right.
If there was a category for like best debut multiplayer game, I would say that for sure. But as a full package, Carry On is my choice.
Okay. For me personally, just because of my time with it and to not, whatever be unfair, I guess for my personal choice would be Phasmaphobia, just because of how much I played and how much I haven't genuinely enjoyed that game. So that would be my personal choice.
Now,
and then what do you think will actually win?
See, that's the thing. Unfortunately, I haven't heard anything about Raji or Roki, like no buzz at all in my own sphere. Mortal Shell, I saw a couple Let's Plays, but the games that I've seen make the most impact are Carry On and Phasmaphobia, especially on Twitter.
Right.
Twitter for Carry On and YouTube for Phasmaphobia. I think Phasmaphobia has a really, really strong chance of winning this simply because of the buzz it made and all of the people playing it.
I agree.
I just think that if you look at it from a, polished, good game, Carry On is better, in my opinion. So
Yeah. And something to keep in mind too is how the voting works for it, like officially. So yes, fans can vote, but fans' score is only weighted 10% for the actual winner.
Yeah.
For the Game Awards, and then the other 90% is made up of hundreds of different news media outlets for gaming across the entire globe.
Yeah.
So if we're keeping that in mind, if I was going from a strictly popularity perspective, I'd probably say Phasmophobia. If I was going from an actual content perspective, based off of what I seen, I actually think that Raji or Carry On would probably win. And of those two, I might lean slightly more to Carry On just because of how much more I've seen about it specifically, even though I don't know anything about the game personally.
No, that makes sense. I agree with that.